Journalism is essentially the gathering of facts, no, presented in their proper context. One textbook author described journalism as the best obtainable version of the truth. When more facts come to light, the truth can change the following day. Journalists, however, have to be prepared for situations in which more facts come to light, more details come to light. And in that case, truth changes. Well, revelation. I'm not a journalism major, okay? So I was taking up AB. I really want to take up journalism, but I thought about the practical side of things. So I took up economics, no? However, in my last year in UST, I got into the school paper. It made me go back to my original desire, which is to take up journalism. I got a job as a business journalist. And I really thank my economics training for that and my training in journalism from the school paper of UST, which is the Varsitarian. We were preparing students for work in print media. We taught them a lot about layout, copy editing, about using the proofreading symbols, etc. And then preparing them to gather information, to write a story that will be published on print the following day. And ngayon, obviously, it's not the case anymore. You need to be writing your stories instantly. The deadline is 15 minutes after the story breaks, something like that. Journalism has begun very sure migration to digital platforms. In fact, our students today, they're targeting digital media platforms. It could be social media management, a desk editor job, content manager job, or it could be field work, but then again, you don't work for a newspaper anymore, so you keep on churning stories out for your audience. Before, we talk of a 24-hour news cycle. Now we talk about shorter and shorter news cycles. And somewhere along the way, inevitably, quality, things like fairness and balance could be sacrificed. It's very easy to get fooled, no? So this happened to me, no? I was fooled by fake content, no? They mimic, no? Mainstream media news outlets, the design of the website, even the URLs, no? They mimic it, change a letter or two to try to fool you into thinking that it's a legitimate website. We have to know the legitimate sources of news. Seek out these legitimate sources, go to legitimate news sites, pages of legitimate news organizations, and follow them. If someone shares on our timeline content that doesn't fit into our criteria, you have to subject it to scrutiny. I also have the habit of examining websites, no, especially people behind it. No, in many websites, there's always an about page. Are the people behind the websites disclosing their identities? No? Do they have pictures? Do they have email addresses, phone numbers? Do they have an actual address? No? If those elements are not present, you should deem those websites as suspicious. So those are red flags. People have to realize you get to know better the types of content that are shared online. So it could be, marketing content, personal content, posts, opinions, memes, or humorous content or satire. When it comes to fake content, do not share it anymore. Report the content even. Kasi you'll be spreading misinformation, miseducating people. Especially if you're an educator, you should be more critical of the content that you share. We should be regular consumers of news. We cannot be occasional consumers of news. Otherwise, we don't get the full context, the full timeline.
It is my honor to present to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Journalism. Journalists who will never ever compromise the truth.
When I said that to the graduates, it was more of a challenge for them. They should not compromise the truth. Because, the journalism program of UST is also huge on ethics, no? And I think that is what separates the Tamasian journalists from others. In UST, there's a big emphasis on ethics. Remember that your primary allegiance is to the readers, to the public. And you write because of the interest of the public. Our first loyalty, ika nga, is to the citizens, to the readers. Secondary na lang yung, let's say, publisher or our personal biases. The main source of news today when you talk of mainstream sources, are online, digital. Online has created and at the same time dominated the breaking news genre. And print operations, even if they have set up online operations, they're playing the catch-up game. We still see the value of print, and print will stay, but there will be fewer newspapers, more online news outlets. And that means journalism education also has to, upgrade. We have to upgrade our skills to train students how to adapt to digital journalism situations, situations that will require them to break news immediately, not be just a reporter, but also videographers and photographers to do graphics, to edit videos, do infographics, and do data journalism, do visual journalism. The complexion of the entire industry is changing, and that includes journalism education. We have to evolve as well.